So can I get an interview with you?
I'm sorry?
Can I get an interview for Charlottesville Public Access TV?
Oh, sure.
You're going to go home because it's late?
Yeah, it's like well past bedtime.
Okay, quickly, what are you doing here?
I came to see art. I have a piece on the show.
Yes. And what's your name, please?
Roshi.
And why did you do this piece?
Why did I do this piece? I did this piece to represent 100 years of women being amazing and fighting for their rights and fighting for the rights of our future. And
do you believe we have to?
Of course, that's the only thing we can do. As long as we have to fight, we're gonna fight.
And you have to go to your home now, and you have to go to sleeping. And it was so nice to meet you. And thank you for being in Charlottesville.
You say nice to meet you?
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
Okay,
Enjoy you. Can I take a picture of that?
Yes. And it'll be in March because I got the time of March in front of you or something else.
Okay, cool.
Volunteer day.
Okay.
I'm a volunteer.
Okay.
So I'm a public artist, and that's what the show's.
Nice.
I know. You guys should do it. It's only $50 a year. I have 4 times a week.
Okay.
And if you access Richmond, oh my God, there's like a huge Richmond programmer.
Oh no, I was calling her, but I forgot that she.
Yes. Okay. So you'll see it, and then you'll get the idea.
Okay.
All right.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am the founder and curator of Afrovisualism, and I am here, the artist for ERA. And it's great to be here, great to see the work of artists here in Richmond and surrounding areas, and it's just great to be here.
Let's put you in the back.
first time here.
Mine too, mine as well. And so this is Charlottesville Public Access TV, and I'm laughing because you don't know what's going on, but okay, turn it around. There's a city.
Oh, wow.
Is this Richmond, do you know? Is there anything recognizable here? Huh? Like any of those towers? This is pretty cool though. It's like it used to be sections for the computers. When they first started doing the webcam type of thing, it was like one computer had to be next to another. Now, so it's so it like would have to attach the picture to be panoramic, like with different computers. I don't know how this is done. Anyway, to make me throw up. Okay, let's talk about you.
What would you like to know?
Yes. So what did you say you were doing now?
Yeah, so I am the founder and curator of Afrovisualism, my platform on Black visual culture, and I'm a local Richmond-based curator.
And so you know Hamilton? Ham?
Yes, I know Hamilton Glass, Mahari Chopwera, they're incredible artists.
And so I took a tour with him in the tuk-tuk. Us old people came from Charlottesville. They put us in the tuk-tuk. And then he took us around and he gave us the personal tour. Like we got out to each mural. What I really hated about the pandemic was, of course, that people were dying, and of course that people were housed up in their own world or whatever. But it was like for artists, it was the first time they ever got to look at themselves. Do you
Definitely.
feel that way?
Yes, I feel like the pandemic was a time for us to reflect and just take a pause, and I feel like it was much needed.
So, I mean, and also, do you think you generated work from that?
Yes, absolutely. I definitely generated work and close connections with artists during the pandemic.
And aren't you glad we're vaccinated?
Yes, absolutely. You've got to be.
Oh my gosh. And you know, what artists realize it more than anybody, you know, the realities of things, right? It's that, you know, we're faced with realities every day, and artists like take it all in, and then they spew out this like product, they spew out like something that represents what we're going through. We're kind of the most relevant things, or you know, things that we produce are the most relevant. Like if people look at our work, they'll understand what they've been hiding in themselves, right?
Yes.
You feel like you've been doing this all your life?
Well, I feel like I've always had a curiosity for art growing up, and I just followed that curiosity and interest, and now I'm here.
Did you have good mentors?
I feel like with time I had mentors. I had mentors that I didn't know personally, but until I started creating work and doing work, then I started meeting like-minded people.
Awesome. Well, Charlottesville Public Access TV is very glad to meet you.
Thank
And I'm
you.
Robin Hoffman, and you're going to be on TV like somewhere in March, because I already did the botanical gardens and something else before you.
Okay.
So, and I'm editing like probably in March. But anyway, it will go to Katie. Like this address, it's just robinhoffman.org. When I first started doing this 12 years ago, it was on a tape. And now it's a domain with my name. That's it. That's it. That's crazy. 12 years of videos on one tape. Anyway, when you see the green screen, I think it's season 9 or 7 or whatever, you'll see I'm doing arts and crafts with a big app company in space.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so it was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Nice meeting you. Here she comes with the TV cameras. Anybody want to be on TV with Charlottesville Public Access TV? Artists, public access, public
Can you
access.
just tell me where the elevator is?
Do you know?
I don't really know.
Okay.
Alright, maybe that lady does speak the elevator. So, do you want to be on it?
Sure, why not?
Thank you so much. I'm actually getting the artists trying to get the
Yeah?
some of the things that I wanted to get, okay, so, sorry.
Okay, no, you're good.
I'm a public artist here in Charlottesville, but now I'm in Richmond, and I'm in the museum with this wonderful artist. What's your name, sir?
Michael Birch Pierce. It's neither, but it's fine.
So, yes, and I want to be appropriate, so I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. It's great.
They?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
they, them, but
Yes.
sir and ma'am, there is no
it's important.
non-binary version of it. So, right?
Especially with this event.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of the younger artists, I said to them, do you know what the McCarthy era was?
Right.
And then now we have the second McCarthy era. Well, the first one was...
Oh, we really do, right?
And so people are coining that, like people my age, like, oh, you know, 50 years ago we did this crap. What's going on?
Right.
Because
Just like weird,
he
like
censored-
moralism and
he censored
censorism
my
and
relatives and everybody else. because
Yeah.
They were in the theater or whatever.
yeah, trying to like
And, you
ferret
know,
out communists
we have
and
something
everything.
to say beside like ham and cheese on Broadway.
Yeah, if you didn't say America's amazing, then you're a traitor.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to it.
Okay, we're back to it.
Why did you do what you did to me? I mean, why are you why are you going to do it to me?
Yeah. So I agreed to be part of this exhibition because I think the ERA is a very important piece of legislation that needs to be passed. My piece itself is a embroidery on velvet of 4 nude bodies of different gender presentations, and so honestly, I wanted to see trans nude bodies in this museum. I wanted
That
to
was the
celebrate
poster that I
things.
wanted to,
Yeah.
bid on,
Thank you.
It was really good.
Yeah, I thought it would be cool to, celebrate not just traditional idea of what a woman is or what gender is, but to express all different
Yeah.
types of people that
And
this
people
amendment
fear
would
that
help.
change
Yeah.
of acknowledgement or whatever it's called. And that's the reason why we're in this predicament.
Exactly.
What I really despise, I guess, is the fact that they're censoring all those folks.
Right.
What the hell?
It's terrifying. They did that. My brother is a school teacher up in Spotsylvania, Virginia, and they
Oh,
were like
no.
going through all sorts of crazy stuff up there and
And
removing
then our
books
new
and
governor is promoting it.
monster. Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, and then like anti-drag queen and
Yes.
anti trans healthcare
You know,
legislation.
if it
like,
wasn't for the arts and if it wasn't for being different, we'd all be the freaking same. How boring
Yeah.
is that?
yeah, that'd be
it
really
wasn't-
boring. I don't want to be the same as
But
anybody.
when I was coming up, it was crazy. Like I was in a public school in the city, New York, and in fact, my teacher, if somebody came in from Korea, they would make a big deal, and I'd be like, "Why are you making a big deal? This person is just coming."
They're just trying to come to school.
Yeah, and the poor babies, they probably felt all of a sudden, they were just going to class, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden now they're Korean. Oh my gosh, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But it's true. It's that we ask everybody to assimilate to something. I don't know what are we assimilating to? I don't even know.
Right. Like, what is
What-
normal anymore? Like, what is the
But
status
why?
quo? Yeah.
Why? Why do it's fine to belong
Yeah.
to a club.
Because white people are just scared of anything different.
Yeah, it's true. And then they got the guns, right? They get the guns out.
Yeah,
Because they're
terrifying.
afraid.
Right.
I actually did a video of that. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
So what I did was I went into a gun shop at Uvalde in my neighborhood and just got up in the morning. Oh shit! Went up to the I can do that because it's prime time.
Oh, right.
So yeah, I went to this pawn shop which sells assault rifles. And in fact, the owner has military, his own
Yeah.
truck in front. And it's like, this is Charlottesville. Okay, so I'm like, all right, so I got up in the morning after Uvalde that weekend. And I went up and I did this interview. Anyway, so the whole thing was talking he said all this stuff. like he didn't think that those assault weapons were assault just because they don't shoot like they don't
Yeah.
poo 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 poo. And so I was like, and then anyway, I combined his conversation with Columbine film.
Oh shit.
And
You're
it's
like
online.
this is what this means.
So yeah, take a picture of this, and then you'll see yourselves on Charlottesville Public Access TV in due time, but also you'll see everybody else. And
Oh, fabulous.
So it's 10 each season.
Okay.
So when you scroll down, and my friends of mine, I don't know why, they watch them. They watch them like one a night, like Netflix. It's only 26 minutes.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But it's like this. Can you imagine watching this?
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. So
That'll be
are
great.
you married?
No. Just seeing each other. He's cute.
Oh my God.
I still got to get officially divorced to my ex.
Oh.
No, it's good.
No, we met 4th of July last year.
4th of July last year, yeah. So we're just being cute, yeah.
But anyway, I'm so glad to meet you, and thank you for
Pleasure.
being on Charlottesville
Thank you.
Public Access TV.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Robin.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. It's like, no, you can't come.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you? What are you doing here?
I worked with VA Ratify ERA and with Katie.
Yes.
In the
So I know
Virginia.
Cobby, and I know Charles Gibson.
Yes, in
Yeah.
Charlottesville.
So I went there
Charlottesville.
to Pocahontas, the building and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yes, I did. Anyway, so why are you here today?
Because I just want to support Katie. You know, Katie
Yes,
Hornung.
yes.
She was such, like when we started working, because I'm in the Shenandoah Valley, so we're a very, very
Good.
Republican-dominated
Yes.
area.
That's so good.
And we really.
Did she recruit you or did you recruit her?
Actually, I went to the Women's Summit. Like I'm part of the group that got motivated at the Women's March.
Yes.
Like so
Me
many
too.
of us.
Oh my God.
And so the Women's March was like the catalyst that got us going. And then I started a huddle group in
You haven't
Shenandoah
stopped,
County.
which is really
Well,
good.
I've slowed down a lot, so it's nice to see these
Yeah.
generation ratify and the
Yeah.
interns. But I started a huddle group, and while we were working on the huddle group and becoming activists, and we actually had Brian Cannon come talk to us about One Virginia, and we had a JMU professor talk about the status of women's rights in the world. And so we were doing these things not knowing that the ERA was even on the table. And so then I went to the Women's Summit in Herndon that Network Nova has started.
Yeah.
And Eileen Davis, Kate Bird, Andrea Miller, and Chelsea Wise, like from Richmond, were on a panelist about gender equality in the United States. And so I went to that panel not even really realizing that Nevada and Illinois had already ratified. And then I remember Eileen saying, we need more people from rural Virginia. And I'm like, oh, that's me. And so it was just poetic that I'm right here in Virginia. I've always lived in Virginia, and that I had an opportunity that just came along to work on the ratifying the ERA. And Katie was, at the same time I was finding out about it, was becoming the manager. And so she and I connected really early, and we actually had a group called VA Ratify ERA Shenandoah to be supportive of the campaign.
This is so good, you know, because people don't know what effort it takes to be able to maintain.
Not at all. And I was really, hey Carol, I was so much at the right place.
So, Public Access TV, you want to say something? You can say something.
I think Carol and I we met after.
Yeah, tell them how we met.
Yeah,
There you go.
I know people all over the state now because of the ERA,
It is,
so it was
yeah.
really a connection.
And Carol was working in Fredericksburg on some of the same things I was working on in Shenandoah County, and
You see what's behind you, by the way?
history matters.
We
There
just need
you
to change it
go.
to first 3 minutes,
Yeah.
right?
And then we were part of the committee for the National Women's Political Caucus,
Yep.
the nominating committee.
Let me see that.
And so out of VA Ratify ERA, we kind of went 2 branches. Katie took off with the vote equality, and then another group started National Women's Political Caucus Virginia chapter. and Andrea Miller is currently the president
Okay.
of that, and she was on the very first panel that I heard of the ERA.
Yeah, that's right.
And she was like, I've been working on this for 50 years. And I was like, what? Oh. I was like,
Did you write something like this? This is a really interesting.
I'm actually working on a memoir.
She would be a great person to do that.
Yeah.
No,
But
I actually, you can cut the camera off and I'll tell you.
Are we ready to stop? We can say, okay, thank you for being on Charlottesville Public Access TV.
Oh.
And for fighting for the.
No,
Fighting for the ERA, it's still not there. We gotta
And
keep
it-
going,
it-
believe it or not.
there-
That was the most shocking thing about the whole campaign is that I met women who had been doing this for over 50 years
Yeah.
and that they just couldn't believe that they were still making those,
And also, like
Same
you
arguments.
said, the history matters. What's shocking to me is how much I didn't know.
right.
And like, I mean, I went to the Women's March and there was a poster there that said, let's finish what Alice Paul started. And I'm like,
Absolutely.
huh, wonder who that is. I'll take a picture. I'll look her up later. And you know, like we really,
And the
really
number of
did.
people all around, if you asked now, if you went down the street and asked if the Equal Rights Amendment was in the Constitution, people would overwhelmingly say yes, because they would think it's
Yes.
there. And it's not, and so we still have work to do.
And just like learning how important it is to work for policy change.
Yes.
And that it's okay for women to do this, especially
And
from.
to vote.
And to vote, and to get connected, and to work to
Yeah.
improve your
And
communities.
It's fun to get connected.
It really
And we do.
Also, it's therapeutic because otherwise you just bottle it up and your hair falls out, right?
Everything you're saying is so spot on because I feel like we almost cheated in like the Trump administration because there were so many issues, and in Virginia we could just be like, we're going to work on ratifying the ERA. That's something everybody should get behind and we can all be unified. And
Yeah,
so
it
like
was
the
great.
rest of the country didn't have such a really nice positive focus.
Do you want to hear something lightning a little bit?
Step away.
But thanks. No, I'm done. I'm done.
We're cutting it, but I just wanted to tell you that I went in the elevator at Pocahontas, and this is what I said. I went in the elevator for an hour and a half because after I was like meeting up with the delegates, you know what? I went in the elevator to go to the bathroom, and then when I went in the elevator, I go, you know, if more women made more money, that would be more money for Virginia. And all these delegates, and then the door would open and more would come in. So I stayed in there. When I got down there, Hoffman, all them
Yes.
from the league and everybody, they're like, it helps. You know, it was like, I gave them.
Everywhere, we were everywhere in that building.
But yeah,
fun to
but
see
let me
you.
say,
Golly.
but you guys knew what to say. I was more
That was
an outlier.
Katie.
Yes.
That was like, and that was what was so nice because
Yeah.
you really couldn't navigate the GA if you didn't have somebody that had experience.
Yeah.
And that's what the
Yeah,
campaign brought
they-
to it.
yeah,
But
and-
I'm actually working.
Yes.
I'm taking writing classes and I'm working on writing a memoir about
Yes,
what I was just
thank
telling you
And
about.
then a children's book that hopefully doesn't get censored.
Well, it should be language that everybody could read, like 11 to.
That's why I do
90.
these TV shows because I'm a volunteer. I
Do you
don't get
have
paid.
a
Yes,
card?
you just need to do this now. I have a domain.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. And all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, as the fog was lifting, a voice was chanting. This land was made for you and me. That side was made for you and me. In the shadow of a steeple.